What is the single biggest AI related trap institutions fall into when trying to move fast? And how can they prioritize student accessibility without hitting the brakes on innovation? So if we'll start with Jafar.
Okay, actually, from my point of view, I believe the biggest trap institutions may fall into is adapting the technology first and thinking about accessibility later. As you know, sometimes institutions become excited about a new technology, and the focus is on innovation and effectiveness of this technology, and sometimes accessibility becomes an afterthought. Actually, this may create a big problem because once the technology is adopted, then fixing accessibility barriers become very difficult and sometimes very expensive. As you know, AI tools can produce course materials, images, videos, quizzes, and other things very quickly. But if these outputs are inaccessible, then we are unintentionally not letting some students with disability to access these materials. Regarding moving quickly without sacrificing accessibility, I believe accessibility checkpoints should be built in the adoption process. Uh, Disability services specialists should be always included because of their knowledge about accessibility and barriers. Also, institutions should always ask for VPAT so that they can confirm if the product is aligned with the accessibility standard. And another very important point is that to conduct a small pilot test to make sure that the product is accessible before purchasing it. Because once it is purchased and the contract is signed, I believe that's it.
No, absolutely. And to you, Heather, is there anything you would like to add to that?
I want to second everything Jafar just added because it is most of my points.
Mhm.
The other thing that a lot of institutions, they get very excited and they're like, oh, we want to bring out AI. We want to be AI first. We want to do all these things that are really cool and interesting. But they can sometimes forget to solve a problem. You don't want to
Mhm.
buy a technology that doesn't solve an actual problem just because it's cool. Yes, my AI or Copilot, whatever your institutions are using, they can write an email probably kinder than I can write one. They're much nicer than I am in my emails. But that's not the problem I'm trying to solve here.
Mhm.
There are problems that AI could solve where it's very good at solving these algorithms are amazing at certain tasks. They can't solve all of our problems. We have to identify the problems that it can solve and then find the implementation before we go to procurement and buy something that will not solve anything we're looking to solve.
No, absolutely. It's that kind of piece of being diligent firsthand before bringing it on board. I've so out of curiosity, maybe it's not an institution that you guys work with, or maybe it's another institution that you know. Have you seen the impact of when people do rush to bring in AI and how that's affected them when they haven't been as stringent with some of those like checkpoints that you guys have mentioned?
I've seen a few institutions where it normally becomes students bring the technology into the program and it becomes an issue with academic integrity is normally where it's currently
Mhm.
coming up that I'm seeing for students and staff, whether in my school and a couple other schools. At this point, I don't know any schools, at least in Maryland, that have brought on an AI without doing a lot of rigorous testing just
Yeah,
because of our requirements with the head. But it is happening. I just haven't heard the stories yet.
yeah, absolutely. And for you, Jafar, is there any stories you've heard about people kind of rushing to bring AI in?
No, actually, I didn't hear that there were issues regarding accessibility when they adopted AI tools.